Yeah, just I suppose maybe a quick question to seek your advice on. I've had a couple of situations whereby home care support for a child with disability and with particular needs has been tendered out. And the successful tender, the successful company providing that service will deliver it for a while and then question whether they are actually delivering the tender or that it goes beyond the scope of what they thought they were tendering for, or that they will start disputing the number of hours. So I've had a few of those sort of situations in the last fortnight coming up where there's this repeated pattern, and it's not the same company, so I can't say that it's a change of personnel in there or whatever. But I suppose what I'm curious to know is, first of all, how and why is that happening? But secondly, what does a parent do in that situation? You know, what autonomy and power and us as public representatives? I mean, I'm happy to meet with the company and show them their tender document and show them what they were supposed to be delivering. But the point of contact isn't always consistent within the HSE for that family. Or is non-existent in one of the instances I'm dealing with at the moment. So I suppose the oversight, the quality assurance, the delivery assurance, the value for money on the part of the state, I suppose, where are we? What audit process and accountability process do we have in place for that?
Thank you very much. That question there, if it falls within disability, it's the disability service manager within that CHO that the family need to go to.
Okay? Yeah, and if that person isn't there, if there isn't one, that's dealing with them.
All right, so first and foremost, I have 9 CHO disability managers in the country. Yeah. They meet with me every single month. So they are there, they exist.
Okay. All right. Okay?
So that's where... So every euro that comes through the CHOs goes through our network, goes to our disability managers in the CHOs. So if that home care is being provided through disability, that is the person that they need to go to. They will then signpost them or work with them within it, and they will address the issues that you have raised there, the quality, the audit piece, and everything else. Or perhaps most importantly, the service level agreement that they signed up to the provider. And that's where the families, that's where service providers also realise how difficult it is for carers and the supports of why they're needed. And sometimes when companies tender or go in for a job to support a family, they sometimes don't really understand what they're tendering for. So that's where the service manager will actually work with the family, to be honest with you. But the tendering, it's very disappointing to hear that, because families wait so long to get assistance. Families wait so long for that intervention. And when they get that intervention, the one thing they need is it to work. And it's very disappointing when it doesn't work. So, and it's not like these interventions don't cost a lot of money. There's a lot of money being spent on these interventions. So your service manager in your CHO absolutely will want to ensure that that family and that service user, that young person or older person, gets the need provision that has been provided to support them. So by any manner of means, and I'm listening to you there, it sounds like there's more than one case, and it's your service manager, and that's why I'm saying if the funding is coming through disability, it will be your disability manager, and I've 9 of them in the country.
Great. Well, and that's a fantastic and very clear answer and a strategy for me. I suppose there appear to be a particular number of companies that successfully tender here, and I suppose I would like to think that we quality assure and we audit that they are providing, because some of them specialise, some of them are providing, large scale into hospitals and the whole lot. But to be sure that they are not undoing tenders afterwards, I think that we need an audit of that and of what's being delivered versus what was being tendered for. Because in one instance in particular, the tender document, to be fair, from the HSE couldn't have been clearer. It wouldn't be in dispute. I know very little about care, other than what I get told. But I would have known what was being expected. So the idea that it is being disputed a number of months later is really very, very upsetting for the family, but very disappointing, because it is not cheap.
It is, and that is clearly what you're seeing there, Senator, that service issue, that operational issue. It's not unique, to be quite honest with you, so that's why you do need to go back to the HSE, because that funding support mechanism is hard fought and hard got. The family are very clear as to what the expectation of the service of delivery is. So it's very important too, if service providers are not stepping up to the mark of where they have made a contract, because it is a tendering basis, a lot of this. And if they're failing on their tendering, it needs to be called out.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much, Minister.